Hey people, hey community, hey mental health. My background is that I have been working in social work for over 10 years now. I have worked with different individuals with mental illness. I worked in group home. I have done case management for almost 10 years now. I've worked in group homes for a few years. Um, Over the time, I have realized in our community, our African American minority community, we don't learn how to process certain information well, how to give time for healing, as well as understanding the purpose of using therapists, psychiatrists, all that information. And also about self care, self maintenance. All we do is get up and go, get up, since we've been born. Make sure nobody don't take care of you. You don't need to live on the system. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. But nowadays, we do need something. We do need to understand that no, everything is not fast paced anymore. So now it's time to start taking it slow, because when you take fast paced, people are losing their life. They're chasing things that they feel like that's the only materialistic things that's going to make them happy. They're committing more suicides. People are not believing in mental health. I grew up in a household that mental health was not discussed. I can remember at the age of 12 reaching out asking for help. Like, my dad had passed away, and I just felt that it would be amazing if I can get help. Like, speak to a therapist, go to grief groups, something. And I understand now that my mom was actually battling her own grief at the time, and therefore she did not understand what I needed at the moment. She was only hearing her aches and her pain and her disappointment of what was going on at the time for her. But I'm coming to you about my terms of learning how to promote my mental health and get over a lot of tragic things that have happened in my life. So I am starting relaxing Wednesday episodes where I discuss how I am working on my mental health, my self-care, and embracing myself in the process. I have always been a shy person. When you get to know me, I become more vocalized. I am an overthinker. I have anxiety out the window. Never seek treatment for it, because I believe it takes time over many to getting that. And you guys will see that process as I go through it, because I believe I'm at that stage where I want it, because I do have a daughter myself, and I don't want to do what my parental did to me, or put her anxiety issues or me and my siblings. And so I don't want to put that on my daughter. So I am trying to start redoing the process of trying to get help on that level. Today we will be discussing finding time for yourself, just yourself, discussing how to create a space for yourself, understanding, developing mini goals. Just recently, I just came back from Red Lobster. I rarely have that opportunity to get off of work, do something for myself, come home, and not have my daughter, or I have to come home and rush and cook. I'm about to cry, because for my husband to do that for me today felt very refreshing. And I don't know how often I am an ugly crier. I gotta stop that. I don't know how often some people get that, but just as a person, to have someone understand that I know that you spend a lot of time with our child alone, because of my husband's crazy work schedule. We work opposite schedule. I work 9 to 5. He works 3 or 4 days out the week from 7 to 7, and so a lot of times at night I have my daughter by myself. And so for him to just say, there's no rush to pick her up from my in-law. There's no rush to get her tonight. You can go and you can just, it was shocking, because I was doing it anyway, but usually, like, if he's running behind time and he's doing something, and he's doing like his hair, or he's going out or something. They're coming. I have to pause to come back. So, before I had to stop because I started crying. But yeah, so today I am discussing finding time for yourself, which be topics on learning about your personal self, creating a space to understand self, exploration, which is very important to me, and developing many goals so that you can feel confident. Okay? 1, learning about yourself. Always think it's very important that you define the type of need that's necessary for your life. If you don't come out and you don't talk about what you need in life, what you want in life, what are you willing to accept and not accept, it's going to be the hardest struggle for you to love yourself and love those things around you. Finding how to make yourself, finding how to give yourself peace and learn how to care for yourself. I mean, that to me is like the one thing that I feel like I am still learning at 30 is finding that peace of mind in my every changing, ever changing life. Like, I honestly believe it's like one of the hardest things for me, because every stage of life, every stage of marriage, every stage of career is always changing. And one place might not meet up with that place in life, and you might not be happy with your career, your current job, and you might not be happy at your current job or your current career, and you're trying to find peace there, but then with you not having that peace at that level, when it comes to your marriage, there might be complications there with finances because you don't feel like you're not doing enough to contribute to the household. Therefore, you have issues there. And then you come down to being all the different roles, and you start finding unnecessary peace because of that one thing that you have peace with. So me at this stage, like, I'm learning how to just find that peace of where I'm at and gratefulness of where I'm at that time. And I believe that when you get there, you will know it, and then you will be able to enjoy and completely understand what you're going through. Another thing is understanding your struggle and understanding where you were at one point in time, and also understanding your development, which means is your growth. When I realized that I have been through so many things in life, and I have experienced so many different things, friendships, loved ones, losing friendships, developing new friendships, when I realized that those things have came and gone, and each loss is your new strength, you gain something in the process. When you get to understand that when you're going through something, you come on the other side, that you develop a new skill, that you got a new growth, and that you overcame that issue at the time, or that struggle at the time, for you to have something better. You know, it's hard for some people to see that, and you have to see that as a success, because some people like sit in that situation, never overcome it, so you never get to the other side, you never find that growth. And when you do get it, you should be glad that you have it, because it is one of the hardest things for you to see and count. And sometimes you might not see it, but somebody else might tell you, and you still might not accept it when they say, you know, remember back in the day when you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, but look at you now, like, you can do that, you can do this. But then you're in your head, you're like, but I'm still struggling with this. Like, what are you talking about? I am still struggling. They like, no, but you was able to get through it, because you was able to actually achieve that goal at that time that you said you wanted to achieve, and you don't no longer have that problem. Now you on to the other side of your problem, but you have developed, you found something new to have a problem with. So I'm like, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, like a little struggle. But you have to, for you to keep going, for you to keep your confidence, for you to want more, you have to constantly keep fighting and keep working on it. You know, I'm going into now creating a space to understand your self-exploration. I mean, this is something that I'm trying new with, where I start a task and I don't finish it, or I lose confidence because I'm talking to another person about it and then another person try to do whatever I'm doing, want to do, and they become successful at it, and I get, I started developing social anxiety. I'm not going to say social anxiety. I start feeling bad that I never had the confidence to push forward, or I couldn't put the energy towards it to make it great. And then I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, well, if you never put the energy to make it great, how do you know if you was going to fail or succeed? Or how do you know that, you know, they did it better than you if you never attempt to do it, you know? So that's something that I am now starting to, because all my life it was like school. I never really had, like, I always enjoyed dancing. I always enjoyed music and dancing and things like that.